In this video, I'll be showing how to place a rear shock absorber on a Chevrolet Equinox. It is located behind the rear wheel. Let's get started. Now let's go ahead and remove our left rear wheel. It is 5 19mm lug nuts. Now that our wheel's off, we're going to make our way to our rear inner fender liner. We have some T15 screws and we'll be removing those. I'm going to go ahead and start on this corner here. Now we're going to continue up along the edge. Now we're going to move on to the back side of the fender liner. As you can see, our last bolt is stripped out due to corrosion, so I'll be using a 5/32 drill bit to remove it. Now we're just going to finish it off with some pliers. And now these three in the back. Now we're going to move along back to the upper side of the fender liner and remove this retainer by hand. If it isn't coming off, use a flat blade screwdriver to pry along an edge. Next to the shock absorber, there is a push pin clip. I'll be removing that using a trim tool. Now our fender liner is also secured by this mud guard, which is held in by these three 7mm bolts. Go ahead and remove those. Now let's go ahead and remove our fender liner. It's going to pull away from the corners. And set it aside. Now before we remove the shock absorber, we are going to want to support the rear suspension where the control arm meets the knuckle. I'll be using a stand, but you could also use a jack. And just raise it until it's touching. I'm going to move along to the bottom of my shock absorber to find the shock absorber bolt and nut. They are both 21mm. I'll use a wrench on the bolt side and an impact gun on the nut side. Now I'm going to move along to my shock absorber mount and find these three 15mm bolts. Now let's go ahead and remove the shock absorber from the vehicle. I'm going to lift up. Now let's take it over to the bench. I've placed my shock absorber in the vise. I'm going to take some penetrating fluid and spray the 15mm nut. This is to help break it free. Now I'm going to remove it. Quick note, a common issue with these is that the nut would spin along with the shaft and there's no space for us to secure it from the top. So we're going to go ahead and remove the boot and secure the shaft from the bottom. To remove the boot, simply just pull down. I'll be using some locking pliers to secure the shaft. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the nut. Quick note, once you feel the nut is almost off, place a hand on the shock absorber to keep it from falling out. Remove your pliers. Now you can remove your shock absorber. Now let's go ahead and remove the boot. Just slide it up and off. Now for our bump stop, just slide it up. We'll be reusing these on the new shock absorber. Here's a new shock absorber. I'm going to remove the nut. And I'm going to slide over the bump stop. Quick note, the white part goes all the way down. Use both hands if you have to. And make sure it's firmly in place. I'll do the same with our shock absorber boot. just slide it over. Now let's go ahead and install the mount. I'm gonna go ahead and slide the absorber shaft up in the mount and hand thread on my nut. Now to install our new shock absorber to the mount. For ease of access, I'll be using locking pliers to secure the shaft. I'll be using a rag so I do not damage or mar the shaft. Slide it over and secure them. Now let's go ahead and secure our 16mm nut. And now just snug it up. The torque specification for this is 18 foot-pounds. Now let's go ahead and remove our locking pliers. As you can see, we have no damage on our shaft. Now let's go ahead and install our shock absorber boot. Just gonna slide up. Make sure the boot is fully seated around the whole shock absorber. Now let's take it back to the vehicle. Now let's go ahead and install our shock absorber. I'm gonna slide it through the lower control arm and line up the mounting holes. Now to install my 3 15mm mounting bolts. I'm gonna snug these down for now. The torque specification for these is 43 foot-pounds. Now for my mounting bolt and nut. I'm going to line the holes on the shock absorber and control arm, slide my bolt through, and hand thread on my nut. Now I'm going to snug these down using 21mm on both sides, a wrench on the bolt side, and my impact gun on the nut side. Now the torque specification for the nut is 118 foot-pounds. Now we can remove our jack. Just gonna lower it and set it aside. Now for our fender liner, I'm just gonna slide it in place. Now I'm gonna secure our fender liner with our push pin clip. Now we're going to move along from the push pin clip to this plastic retainer up here. Just turn clockwise until it stops. Now for our T15 torque screws, I'll be just snugging these down. Now for the 3 in the back. Now we're going to move down to the mud guard and secure our last 3 7mm bolts. Just snug them down. Now let's go ahead and restart our left rear wheel. So hand thread on your 5 lug nuts. Now I'm just going to snug these down in a crisscross pattern with my 19mm. Now let's go ahead and torque these to 100 foot-pounds in a crisscross pattern. And that completes our install. Go and take the vehicle for a road test, and thank you for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.